Good evening, people. Yeah, I know it's been a month since I made my last vid, but that's besides the point. Today's point is that I'm checking out G Center's recent video called "The Revenge of Tiamat EXPLAINED." He posted this like 2 weeks ago. I guess it's depicting on that new MonsterVerse game called Clone Survivor Instinct I just released that revealed that Tiamat had a child. So I guess this is his take on if Tiamat's child wants to get revenge for her mom. You know, since Godzilla killed her in GSK. But let's just see what could happen.
Those of you who watched GXK and witnessed this scene may have probably thought that Godzilla finally put an end to this rivalry. Here at Goji Center, we also thought the same. However, new updated information on this rivalry has been revealed.
You see, like I never played the game. I never played this game whatsoever. I want to play it, but I never played it yet.
Not only making the history of this rivalry more interesting, but also laying bare the fact that this war between Tiamat and Godzilla is not over. On the contrary, this conflict between two Apex Titan species has just begun. Subscribe to not miss any of these episodes discussing your favorite MonsterVerse kaiju. And now, let's get into this rivalry. Goji Center has talked a good bit about Titanus Tiamat already, from first discussing how it almost defeated Godzilla in Godzilla Dominion, discussing its newly revealed Titan dossier, up until her execution depicted in Godzilla Kong: The New Empire. For a Titan that was extremely powerful on paper, many were baffled upon witnessing how easily Godzilla dispatched this kaiju, seemingly...
Well, that's pretty easy, because at that time, Godzilla was hella juiced up from all that radiation he absorbed. Yeah. The last time Tiamat almost beat him after the events of GVK was because he was in a weakened state. So, yeah, that's understandable. But after that movie, yeah, he was already fully healed, so Tiamat didn't stand a chance.
At least. At this point, it was easy to think that this was the ultimate end of Tiamat. But no, today we are going to bring up two brand new and official bits of information, storyline, and lore that more or less tells us that this feud between the Sea Serpents and Godzilla is far from over. In the new graphic novel MonsterVerse Declassified, we get some information about Tiamat that explains how she turned from this to this.
Really?
And a very interesting detail at the end of the story, and bad news for Godzilla. In this graphic novel, we are introduced to some history regarding Tiamat. Here, we see her in the same form as when she appeared in Godzilla Dominion. Blue and purple scales with translucent fins, wings that acted as flippers for navigation underwater. The book depicts the many instances throughout history where Tiamat would purposefully attack human civilizations over time. Our best guess here is that Tiamat would develop an acquired taste for attacking humanity, earning her the title of Destroyer seen in Tiamat's Monarch dossier. As we reach the modern era, Tiamat would continue her warpath, disrupting human civilization, war operations, and ultimately immortalizing her in legends and myth. But what of her evolution? After the events of Godzilla Dominion, after Godzilla kicked her out of his former lair, Tiamat began looking for a new place to thrive, making her way to the Arctic Ocean. Now, those who have seen Godzilla Kong will recall a few things about this location. In the MonsterVerse, this place served as a stockpile of radiation courtesy of solar energy, making it one of the largest reservoirs of solar radiation on the planet. And Tiamat was here to take possession of it. Of course, another Titan would have already been here, and the fact that this Titan was here may explain why Godzilla hasn't previously taken possession of this place earlier. In this graphic novel, we find Tiamat entering this icy cave when all of a sudden another Titan taking the form of an echinoderm quickly grabs Tiamat and starts a battle that would end badly for the defeated Titan. This Titan remains unnamed for now. Despite this, we must mention that this creature does have some strong resemblance with a few screenshots taken from Godzilla King of the Monsters, resembling those images of Titanus Typhon. This isn't fully confirmed yet. During the battle, this creature shoots out a hot, viscous, bioluminescent substance. The side effects of getting stained by this is burns and some corrosive damage, managing to eat through Tiamat's armor. Tiamat escapes the echinoderm's grasp and begins a deadly counterattack, swimming rapidly around this creature, disorienting it, and this time ensnaring the starfish. With its bladed fins and strong serpentine body, Tiamat manages to rip the echinoderm right in half, sending its severed body down into the sea floor. This victory established Tiamat as the proprietor of this energy source, and here we see that she wasted no time and surrendered herself to the effects of this energy source, similar to how Godzilla allowed himself to be.
So basically, it's just I see now. So Godzilla really. So like, alright, I see now. I understand.
Engulfed by layers of ice and bioradiation phenomena, Tiamat cocooned herself in her new lair and would over time evolve into a different form, evolving into a titan with many more bladed fins, 4 appendages, and a magenta bioluminescent glow reminiscent of the energy stored here, and capable of inheriting some defensive traits of the titan that used to thrive in this location. In the newly released console game Kong Survival Instinct, we witnessed Tiamat once again, this time taking on her new form and using this same weapon, a pink viscous corrosive substance capable of burning through hardened armor and organic substances. So, what does this evolution have anything to do with the continued rivalry between Tiamat and Godzilla? Well, there's more. Kong Survival Instinct storyline includes a shocking revelation that dictates that.
You see, the one good thing about that Kong Survival Instinct game is the fact that that game isn't good for the gameplay. It's good for the lore of the Monsterverse. Like, secrets about certain creatures like Tiamat, that's what it's really good for. Yo, it is bright. It is kind of bright and dark at the same time outside my house. I'm sick of this brightness, but yeah. That game, Kong Survival Instinct, is real good for the lore.
The Godzilla will potentially fight sea serpents once again. And yes, that's serpents, plural here. Let us explain. The story of Kong Survival Instinct is an interesting one. In the game, we learned that shortly after the events of Godzilla vs. Kong, that being in 2024, Alan Jonah was still at large and was the head of a mercenary group known as Hyenas. These folks specialized in the black market trade of organic remains of titans and other sorts of megafauna. Throughout the story, we learned that these guys managed to capture a specimen that would hold great importance to this one, Tiamat. Who are we talking about? Ladies and gents, we are talking about Lahamu, the offspring of Titaness Tiamat. That's right, Lady Tiamat is officially a mother now, and Lahamu now joins the ranks of Monsterverse Kaiju. In this story, Lahamu is still relatively small by Titan standards, measuring possibly around 90 to 100 feet in length. Given that Titans in this game are scaled at a smaller size, that being so they can interact better with the human characters and fit on screen, it's possible that any official size of Lahamu may surpass the 100-foot range. Regardless of this, it is the physical attributes of Lahamu that make it more interesting. It is mentioned in the game that Lahamu does have a striking resemblance to Titaness Tiamat, and after a bit we do get confirmation that yes, this is indeed Tiamat's daughter. Additionally, according to the mythological origins of Lahamu, the Mesopotamian goddess Tiamat was said to have 2 offspring, one being Lamu, the son, and Lahamu, the daughter. In this game, Lahamu, although being Tiamat's daughter, does differ in some way or form. If we look closely at both of these specimens, Lahamu differs in that she is not the same coloration as her mother at this point in time, with silver scales in body color and different colored fins. Her tongue, unlike her parents, splay out like petals, and this one only has 1 pair of appendages, unlike her mother who has 4. Now, there is probably some explanation as to why she looks different. If we take into account Tiamat in her previous form before she evolved, we see a resemblance to both of these, that being its coloration and types of fins. Meaning that whenever Tiamat gave birth to Lahamu, the offspring may have adopted physical characteristics of both Tiamat's evolved and previous form. This is just the beginning. This one, however, mutated enough to take in other additional properties. It is mentioned in-game in Lahamu's creature profile that this one has advanced camouflage capabilities, allowing her to be borderline invisible. But some of you may be thinking, how is a juvenile Lahamu going to threaten Godzilla? Surely even an invisible sea serpent would still be detected by an overly sensitive alpha titan with alternative ways to detect other kaiju. And plus, Tiamat is 100% confirmed to be dead after Godzilla turned her into sliced sashimi in the Arctic. Well, about that. Going back to Monsterverse Declassified, there's still a part of the story we have to tell you guys about. The beginning of the chapter that depicts Tiamat actually begins with a monarch scientist that arrives on the site where Tiamat had just been.
You know, these people, man, the humans in the Monsterverse is dumb enough to create another Tiamat. They would do something like that. They almost did it with Monster Zero, and they wouldn't do it with her.
Executed. She takes a sample of this Titan's remains, and after another time jump in the book, we are taken to a post-GXK scene in an underground Hollow Earth facility underneath the energy stockpile, where another shocking revelation is introduced.
Oh, I ain't never
in
seen
an
this.
analysis lab, the sample taken by the Monarch scientist is revealed to have a 0% rate of decay. What is this? Let's find out. For you to fully comprehend how crazy this is and how serious this problem will get for Godzilla, here's what rate of decay means. Put very simply, rate of decay refers to how quickly something diminishes or rots over time. In physics and biology, it's used to describe how quickly a radioactive substance will lose its energy and mass. The metric used to show rate of decay is half-life. If you grab a piece of Titan tissue, for instance, and it has a half-life of 5 years, it means that in 5 years, only half of the radiation in this Titan tissue will remain. After another 5 years, then only a quarter of the energy will be left, and so on. Here, Tiamat's remains show signs of 0 decay, meaning that this stuff is still radioactive. And in this universe, this means that whatever body parts can be salvaged, it's still viable to be able to clone or regenerate.
Oh.
And what do we have here? After Godzilla once again decapitated another Titan, Monarch was able to recover yet another.
Oh my goodness! You see, yeah, that could be a problem. That could be a problem. Heck, they might make a Titanosaur. Now let's see here. Think about it. They might create Titanosaurs. That would be kind of cool. That'd be tight.
Another head left behind by the G-Man. This time hinting at the fact that the conflict between Tiamat and her species is not over yet. So, where was Lahamu when Godzilla barged into her mother's lair and killed her? We don't have any confirmation about Lahamu's whereabouts as of now, but it is possible that as Godzilla was fighting Tiamat in the icy waters, Lahamu was able to barely make her escape. That, or she would have matured enough to not rely on her mother's protection in the events of GXK. If Lahamu is alive post-GXK, there is no doubt that Lahamu will search for vengeance. And if this Tiamat does somehow regenerate, or if a clone is developed, Godzilla will not only have to worry about a vengeful Titan, but potentially the wrath of a reproducing species.
Alright. Hey, yo. That was some good insight though, because I had no clue. They had a book for that. I didn't know they had a comic book talking about the aftermath of GXK, the fight between those two. I didn't know that. I just found that out. But yeah, there's a good chance Lahamu may come fight Godzilla eventually, but we all know she gonna lose. But it's a high chance that Titanosaurus could be created from a DNA of what you call it, Tiamat. Tiamat. But yeah, I enjoy watching this video. I enjoy watching it. Hope y'all enjoyed the reaction. I'm gonna be watching more Goji Center stuff because he been posting some very interesting vids lately. But yeah, see y'all in the next vid. Y'all take care.